Content Catchup.
Friends and enemies, we're back. We're back again, your favourite podcast. How exciting is that? We're joined by no one today. It's just us two. How you going, Jules?
I'm going well, Barks. I was wondering where you were going on that with that, but I'm glad that you kind of controlled yourself and didn't call me anything like you did last week.
Not today. We'll start it off nice. I thought you might think I might have brought in a random guest and then join our Zoom screen and you're like, holy shit, I haven't prepared.
Oh, I'd still be able to do it. But anyway, how are you?
Great, thank you.
That's good.
What's been happening this week? It's been I feel like we've been pretty flat out this week, but you were down my neck of the woods today and you declined to visit. I mean, COVID doesn't allow you, but could have visited my new house.
Also, I was down your end of the neck of the woods this week, or today actually, and I didn't actually know I was in your neck of the woods because I was so lost. I was apparently in Nunawading, but I thought I was in Narre Warren, and then I went to Springvale, and it was kind of all over the shop, to be honest with you. It's a lovely neck of the woods though. I'm glad you're out there enjoying stuff. There's a lot of shops. Yeah,
thank you. I mean, once you actually it's probably only 20 minutes. The closest you got was probably 20 minutes close to me, but it gets even nicer the more you come out. So do yourself a favour. Yeah, you're welcome. After lockdown, you want to come over for dinner? I offered to.
You did offer this, and I said only for lease cooks.
Nah, that's not part of it.
That's all I want. That's my one thing of coming over. Like, at least has to cook.
Chicken wraps for everyone.
I'm a vegetarian.
Well, fake chicken. Anyway, today we're talking Olympics and NBA draft, aren't we? So I've got
that is it.
Bit of NBA, obviously. Who would have guessed? And you've gone Olympics.
I have gone Olympics. Now, should I kick off? I haven't actually looked at your run sheet. Should I kick off?
I mean, I just told you to look at it before, but yeah, go on. You're first.
I'll go first. Now, let me tell you, leading up into this,
yes,
I didn't think... not this, but leading up into this year's Olympics, I didn't think I was going to be a fan. I have to say, I'm going to call myself out for saying how little I would watch the Olympics in the lead up to it and how much I hated it. But let me tell you something, especially I think because we've been in lockdown, for a little bit.
Yeah.
I have watched that much Olympics that it's not funny. The other day I found myself on the couch for nearly 6 hours watching the men's cycling. Nearly.
Okay.
It was great. Fantastic sport. Yes.
Quick question on the Olympics. Favorite sport you didn't think you'd enjoy, or is that cycling?
Well, see, cycling's one of those ones I've been trying to get into for a bit longer because I think it's quite interesting. I have to say, I didn't think I'd sit down and watch the skateboarding, but I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
And that's probably not too surprising because I did like skateboarding growing up, but I didn't think I'd go out of my way to kind of watch it.
You were a bit of skater boy, Jules, growing up.
Yeah, Avril Lavigne actually wrote a song about me. I don't know if you've heard of it.
That's gnarly, man.
Shut up. Anyway, let's roll into some content. So I've been paying a bit of attention to Olympic content, and on the back of your first example with Matthias Thibault.
Matisse Thibault, yes. The vlogging, yes. Yep.
Vlogging. It's definitely something that's been more popular amongst athletes this year than I've probably seen before. And I think it's great because it's that thing we talk about where you just get a real insight into what it is like behind the scenes, because how interesting is that? And don't get me wrong, broadcasters do the whole day behind the scenes, tour the facilities, this is cool. But actually seeing the athletes and what they have to go through on a day-to-day basis once the actual official cameras are off, it's quite interesting and you can get sucked into it. Yeah. One person I've been watching, and I will share my screen now, is Emily Seebohm. I don't want to butcher that name.
I think it's Seebohm.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But she's a swimmer, or highly successful swimmer for the Australian team. And she's been using Reels behind the scenes to just show the day in the life of everything that's going on in these small vlogs. And you can see just nothing crazy. It's just literally behind the scenes with a little bit of commentary and dubbing of her from arrival to opening ceremony to small things like even how the testing works and all the kind of stuff that's happening behind the scenes. Like they get free shoes, they get free like
super dupers,
Powerades, everything. Like it's pretty cool. And the village, even like some of the more annoying stuff that you probably don't realize. Like she had to go to, this is laundry. Like, look how nuts that is. That's everyone's laundry. But like even this, like queuing up to have to go get on a bus to go to the pools. Like you think, they'd just be able to walk or whatever it is. But it's taken so long, this person over here is sitting down. But like, it's like, it's nothing out of the ordinary. But I really love the way that these athletes have kind of embraced the fact that they know that people are sitting at home and watching, and they don't care that there's like 10 different people doing their own vlogs or whatever they are. Like, they're just all going for it. And I think that's pretty awesome because they've all got different perspectives on it. And especially someone like Emily, who's, like I said, quite successful. It's interesting to see how they prepare and whatnot.
Yeah. Do you think there's bits of this that they have to be cautious of showing? Like I try to go to like sponsors of like whether it be different brands, like foods, like surely if she's sponsored by something that you've got to avoid whatever it might be. But so are these episodes bigger YouTube? Are they full blown vlogs? No,
I think it's literally just through Reels, which for someone like me is quite easy to consume. Like I don't think I'd sit down and watch a 10-minute this is my day type video. And like Reels are going. That's the best thing you can do on Instagram at the moment. It's kind of the way to go. It's just a good use of the platform, number one, and it's good insight. With the sponsorship stuff though, I'm guessing that they just that well versed in everything that they know when to post and when not to post it. High tier athletes, I guess. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. It's a good little. I'm sure they all appreciate their unique. Bless you. Their unique position they're in, but they're doing this. Emily doing this is a good way just to show that she appreciates sort of the position they're in, and it shows the human side of showing what the hell, whether it's glamorous or non-glamorous, they get up to. I think that's the thing as well. Like the human side of the athlete is so important these days, especially when they're copping so much pressure left, right, and center, and everyone's so invested in everything that they're doing. To be able to really show that, hey, like we have to do these annoying things just like you do. It's not all glitz and glam. Like, yeah, we're having a good time, but we're working our asses off. This, that, whatever. Thought it was nice. That's all I've got to say about that. Yeah, good on you, Jules. Well done. Did you see any on the day of the swims or day of the race? Like, how close does she get to actual race day? I can't remember off the because that'd be cool. Top of my head. This might be a race day. Oh yeah, so she's in near the pools and everything. Near the pools and whatnot. I guess it's probably limited because they'd maybe be a little bit more in the zone once they actually get to their event, and they'd want to focus on that. So like training and stuff might be different. But this one's like from just the getting the medal and stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool. You actually see how it all happens. Yeah. It's definitely something that I don't think has an expiry date. Like, I can't see that sort of thing getting old. Unless it just gets too repetitive. But again, like you said, at this stage, it's just go for it while it's strike while the iron's hot, as they say. Especially if it's once every 4 years. Yeah. That's one bit. Do you want me to just roll through? Yeah, let's go full blown. Okay. We'll go full blown Olympics. Okay, we'll jump away from Instagram just for a second because we're going to come back to it. But have a look at this photo. I saw this and I actually thought of you. Why? Because I could just imagine you could pull off something like... No, not really. Because we showed an AFL example of doing something similar. Oh, and you hated it. Okay. That was different. Hey, shall we explain what we're looking at first? Okay, what we're looking at here is a picture of Simone Biles, USA gymnast, world famous, one of the best. She's doing some sort of aerial move. And this photographer, Brian, He's positioned himself and just set up the camera and taken multiple shots of her in the like as she's going through this rotation, and you can see they're all kind of overlaid on top of each other to form this one big image. And it's great because you can see like her face going through like where she rotates and like the different angles of her body and stuff like that. It's almost like a whole video in one photo. It's kind of the best way to describe it.
It's like a GIF without movement.
Yeah, it's quite creative, like, and it's also quite like, I guess you can see someone do a move like this, like some sort of gymnastic aerial move, but seeing it laid out like a photo like this is kind of like, oh shit, there's so many different stages to it, like to freeze frame each one of them and say, okay, at this point, like they're rotating their body this way, they're pushing their arm up, they're tucking this, they're tucking that. Like it's quite cool. I just think it's a great photo.
Yeah, no, that's really creative, and it makes you appreciate what she's doing. But I actually thought I got this wrong because when I first looked at it, I thought it must have been the old trick of turning the shutter speed down, and you capture the movement, but it's too crisp.
Yeah,
it's too
I don't
crisp
think
on
that is.
the stills.
Yeah.
So
I
he
think it's
must
a
have
series
gone
of
there.
photos.
Yeah, and he must have photoshopped it. Oh, good on you, Brian. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the one that Barks was referencing that I didn't like was something from an AFL game where they just turned up the shutter speed, or they turned it down, and it just became like this big blurry image of motion. Yeah, it just looks shit. Sorry, whoever took it, didn't like it. Move on.
Yeah,
be better.
Whack. Anyway, carry on.
Carry on. All right, next one. Okay, so this doesn't really require sound, but it's a cool ad from Jockey, the underwear brand, who I believe are the sponsors of the Australian Olympic and Paralympic team. And it's just basically athletes exercising while they're in quarantine, just wearing their jockey jocks. But because it's all based in like a hotel room, it's like showing, I don't know, I just kind of enjoyed like a different take on like a high performance video, like showing what they had to do while they were in quarantine to keep fit. It's
opportunistic.
Opportunistic, but it's smart. It's like, hey, like these athletes are in the same situation that many of you are in, like having to lock down, but they have to make the best of it. And here we are supporting them, supporting underwear, like another good tagline, but like, yeah, it was just kind of cool.
It's also like these things. Just feel like they're always done like on a glamorous beach, wearing the whatever it might be, sporting clothes or whatever it might be. But it makes it feel like any normal person could wear these. Yeah,
there's no like real excessive light, or like doesn't look like there's any like direction to it. Yeah. It's just like they've propped up their smartphone on something and it's just started filming. That's literally all it is.
There's a real place for, it sort of touched on what I'll talk about later, but there's a real place for like, it's almost like the less produced content, the better these days. And that'd hurt a lot of people, but it's like if you could put too much effort into something looking fantastic filming wise, people will just get a phone and get around it more than the alternative anyway.
I think it just feels like a lot more achievable for a lot of people, and it's that realness of it all. It's like the vlogs. Do you call them vlogs or vlogs?
I've always said vlogs, so when you said vlogs,
vlogs.
I was about to
bag
it.
Vlogs.
No, I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, but it's that. It's like, it's the rawness of it that makes you think, well, this is a real brand. This isn't like someone that's putting out shitloads of money to get Dusty Martin running through something. Like this is quite real. Yeah, that was another bit of content. So that's 3. Are you ready for the 4th and final? I promise this is it in my Olympic bonanza.
That's fine. Okay. I'm ready for it. Hype beast.
This, so Google having the fucking millions of dollars that they have.
Oh, I played this the other day.
Oh, how good was it?
I didn't play it for long, but...
Oh my God, I played it for like 3 hours and I'm not even joking.
It's a Pokemon Google game for Olympics basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's it. And I really don't know like whether the cartoon character at the center of it is like a famous athlete, but it's a 16. So this is the description from Hypebeast: a 16-bit sports RPG that follows a cathlete named Lucky who explores an island with 7 Olympic sport-inspired minigames and side quests. And you could play it just in the browser. It was one of the Google Doodles, and you played it. And Bark's like, I know you only spent a couple of minutes on it, but I legitimately spent 3 hours playing this. It was great.
And what do you level up? And like, what kept you doing it? What kept you playing?
Just like, I just wanted to get all the trophies. Like it was, and because the tasks, like the games themselves weren't hard. It was just like it tapped into that part of my brain that was like, this is exactly like when you're playing Pokemon on your Game Boy and you're just walking around and you kind of don't know what's going to happen next, and that was a lot of fun. But then it was just like, well, I can quickly like do a mission or walk over here, walk over there, find out what's happening, try and do this side quest. I don't know. It was, I think like, sorry.
No, a real throwback like Digimon areas.
That's what it was. And I think like, I don't know, and maybe this is me thinking too much, but when there's like a big sporting event on or whatever it might be, and you're not athletically talented like I am, you still start to get a little bit competitive and want to like do something. And then like this pops up and you're like, oh, fuck it. Like I can't go out and do anything. True. I might as well like do something I can. It gives you a sense of like achievement. And I don't know, that's probably me thinking too much, but I also wanted to touch on this as a bit of content because obviously Google have gone like 11 out of 10 and spent millions of dollars on this and really developed it well. But how good are 8-bit games for just like engaging bits of content? Like if you can pull off the simplest bit of content as an 8-bit game or like any sort of handheld mobile game, I feel like it's money for nothing really. Because like, do you remember that there was like paper toss and stuff like that, which the concept of the game is so simple, and you just sit there for hours going like, oh no, I've got to get the paper ball in the bin. I've got to do this. I've got to do that.
Sounds so silly. It's like the prime example of Snake though.
Snake, yeah, exactly. And how popular that is. I mean, Cripsy will probably be one that, our friend Cripsy, is probably one that like can talk to this. But like when he used to just play marbles on his stream. It doesn't matter what the game is, as long as like it's some sort of engaging, like, and this is what Google have done. But I think like it's a real lesson in maybe thinking outside the regular content box of videos, photos, and articles for when it comes to sports, and looking at like, okay, how can we gamify this a little bit more? And don't get me wrong, they're not the first and they won't be the last, but I just thought it was a quite entertaining way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's also like, obviously it's aimed at kids. It's going to get a lot of kids interested, but like, I wonder if one of the aims for something like that would be kid plays the game, sees as a random table tennis fun game, they're playing it, and then they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was in the Olympics, and then they ask mum and dad to watch it on the Olympics. Like things like that. I wonder if that's sort of what they're trying to achieve from it.
Probably does. And also like, I know you say it's aimed at kids, but I think there would have been like more adults like me who just opened up Google for the day and gone like, oh, this is a cool different doodle. Like what happens? And you start playing, you're like, what? This is the rest of my day.
I wonder what age it would have been aimed at. Like what's the science behind? Does it relate to 28-year-olds more than what I would assume 15-year-olds?
Well, you had an interesting point, right? Like you said, as soon as you saw that, you're like, oh, that's like Pokemon or Digimon. Like that's not young kids that are
that's true. That's a good
seeing
point.
that and going like, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, anyway, that's my content. I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. And that's the show. We'll see.
Oh, we're wrapping up? All right. No, fair enough. Olympics. No, I mean, it's good to see what's going on in that world, because originally I was going to dive into it more, but more important things happen. So enough about you. NBA draft.
Okay. Tell us about the draft, Barks.
Well, players got chosen and players didn't get chosen. That's it. No, I'm going to talk about today. I've chosen a couple of teams to look at that had lottery picks, so high picks. But my theme of drafts in sport is, how do you convince your fan base that you've drafted correctly, and how content plays a part in that? So what I mean by that is there's going to be the real rusted on fans, Sorry, Jules.
We still haven't really got to the end of whether it's rusted on or rostered on.
I think it's rusted, but no, we haven't. But my argument is that rostered works. Anyway, that's not important. So you're gonna have the real rusted on fans that will know each player, but realistically, you're gonna have fans that don't. So like part of the job after you draft players is showing off especially the higher players and trying to express to fans that you chose the right people. So that leads me to 2 examples. We'll look at them shortly, but Toronto Raptors, they've gone more down the personality angle. So they've basically, every opportunity, they've put their high draft picks on screen, gotten their live reactions. It's like an inner sanctum feel. So they've used the players as much as possible, but then the Orlando Magic has sort of gone... They haven't used the actual players as much as Toronto initially, but they've gone what I'd best describe as the "we got him" angle. So it's like all the anticipation, excitement, that they got the person they wanted to, and they go into a bit of meme pop culture, and a bit. It almost feels a bit random, but I thought it'd be interesting to look at both of them and see which you like better. So we'll start with Toronto.
Yeah,
I'll share my screen. So it's sort of irrelevant who they chose, but they've gone straight away. Draft room picks, inner sanctum. This is before they drafted. When they draft, they show the same sort of inner sanctum footage of them choosing the picks. They get the live reactions of said draftee on the couch talking to the broadcast, and then they go into their reels, live reactions like FaceTiming, all that, and they've basically just gone wham wham wham, hugging their family, all the feel good shit, and then highlights and whatever. So this is very heavy on the person. But then Orlando, so they've drafted them around here. So they've gone their graphics. They haven't used the player at all. They've just got these. It's almost like they build some sort of mystery about who they've chosen, and they just sort of.
What are these?
Well, those were just.
Like
that's what I mean about random.
Sunglasses.
Literally just headshots. Put random necklaces and bling on them like sunglasses in a blue Orlando Magic background. And then they go into like pop culture sort of a game show like briefcase number 8, pick number 8. Who they chose, they build excitement. And I just thought it was interesting. Like, I see what Toronto do by using the players, but then Orlando have barely used the players until maybe photos of them. But I almost prefer Orlando's more. And they've even gone, because Orlando's feel like they're trying to sell it more. Like, it's almost like, we chose the right people. Let's show our fans getting excited. We won't show the actual players. And we'll even show tweets, what people have said about, love what the Magic are doing. Magic just hit the jackpot with da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was an interesting discussion. Like, do you think one works better than the other? Or do you think... And it's even, like, we don't even know if Toronto and Orlando have purposely done this, but it's very, like, contrasting styles almost.
Well, they've definitely gone, different approaches to it. I think I'm closer to what you are, but I think it's nice to see something different, because I think the Toronto Raptors example is something that we've probably done more of. Like, what you see more of is like that behind the scenes stuff. They're like the raw reactions, this, that, and whatever.
Yeah.
But which is great, but like, with Orlando, like, at least they've tried something different to like maybe break away from, the normal, or maybe they, I don't know. Maybe it's not either in isolation, and just feel free to jump back in because I don't want to just talk, but like, maybe it's not either of these kind of approaches in isolation, but it's a combination of both.
Yeah. Well, it could be, but it's like, it's also more like what I was trying to touch on before as well. Like, are you trying to appeal to the people that already know the player you chose, or are you trying to appeal to the people that don't know him? So, like, are you trying to tell people who Jalen Suggs is, or are you showing like, I don't know, or you're trying to prove your pick right that people already know Jalen Suggs. Like, it's just an interesting balance.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I do like that Orlando have thrown in, again, less produced stuff, but it's just like the meme culture of like game show hype.
Yep. And that's probably, again, it's that argument of like, is that more relatable to non-traditional basketball fans than like a heavy introduction into the behind the scenes and stuff like that? Yeah. Like imagine if the whole reason they've done this is because they had shit reactions.
That's true. But
like,
I mean,
imagine that's it.
As in Orlando wouldn't have shown it because they didn't have. Yeah, that's true.
Who knows? Or maybe they weren't allowed to. Like,
yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
But like even like the traditional stuff, you draft a player, you show snippets of the broadcast of them sitting down talking to the broadcast ESPN crew. Orlando didn't show any of that, so it's like just shying away.
Did they show it anywhere?
Or
just not on Instagram? I mean, maybe they've just decided that that's not the approach they want to take with Instagram.
True. Well, let's have a quick look.
Let's have a squeeze.
Actually don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Here, I'll show it again. So on Twitter, that is interesting actually. So different platforms. You're probably right. So this one they have shown one of their players that drafted.
Almost so maybe that's the approach. Maybe they've just realized that like people on Instagram aren't that interested in all that kind of shit, and they're just happy to get like the fun stuff.
Yeah. As someone who manages both those platforms, do you get that decision? Like, why would they post? I don't know. Well, like, why would they post a lot of the personal stuff on Twitter and on Instagram, to put it basic?
Yeah, I don't know.
Surely
I think
people...
like, yeah, I don't know. I guess like once you have like a significantly bigger audience, maybe you can make that call.
Yeah.
But for us, like we can't really distinguish too much because the fan base is. There are differences. Like you wouldn't put as much news on Instagram, but yeah, I don't know if you completely ignore all the the homegrown personal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was it's an interesting discussion because, I think what got my attention was the Orlando Magic putting almost less effort, but it got my attention more.
Less effort, high reward.
Yeah. So let us know if you're listening and have a preference. Like if you're a fan of a team and you want to see, and both of them didn't post. Another thing, they didn't post highlights straight away. So like you know how a lot of teams would go away. Like we drafted Sam Walsh. Let's put highlights out there.
Yep.
I just think it's a cool go away from the norm.
Is it again one of those things that like are they that well known that maybe they don't need to post the highlights?
Or thinking deeper, if you don't know who this person is, maybe you don't care about the highlights, and you want to see them with cool necklaces and sunglasses on, and you're like, hey, they're pretty cool. Orlando's got a cool draftee, but it probably could be that way.
It's just the personality over the performance.
Yeah, like maybe the skills that like they follow. They live in Orlando. They see the content of some meme of the player they chose. Like, oh, this guy looks cool. Anyway,
did anyone send you a contract
for the draft?
Yeah,
I think I'm a bit old. Mature age, I reckon.
Mature age draftee.
But that time, recruit. I'm not going to give up in case if that's what you're asking.
There's always next year. There's always mid-season.
True, they don't have it in the thing, but thank you. You believe in me.
I always believe in you. Anyway, Barks, that was some good draft content. Thanks for bringing that in. Do you have any more, or are we...
No, that's what I wanted to talk about, the contrast, and I think we did that, so that's it.
Well, since we're there, I think you know what time of the week it is.
Sunday afternoon.
And Sunday afternoon, you normally start the day off, slow down, breakfast in bed, and then you get up and you go to the fridge, and in the fridge, there's some orange juice. But behind the orange juice...
We both said juice.
Behind the orange juice.
What, Jules? What's behind the fucking
Eggs.
orange
Eggs
juice?
of
All
the
right, egg
week.
of the week. Let's move on.
Let's get it on.
Mine, I've got one.
Yeah,
I'll let you
go
go
for it.
first there.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay?
you go.
Okay.
You go.
My one sticks in the draft world because it's important to have a theme here. We're not going to shy away from. So I hope your egg is Olympic themed. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Actually, I'll share this with you because we can put the audio in the podcast because it'll be humorous. Hang on.
Humorous.
So this, before you watch it, Jules, this is a reporter talking to Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey went number 6 overall, and he's a Melbourne boy, or Adelaide. Anyway, he's an Aussie. For those that didn't know, and he went 6th overall, so that's very exciting. But pre-draft Zoom interview, the person interviewing him doesn't turn himself on mute, that old chestnut, and asks his 1-year-old if he pooped. So Josh Giddey's talking away about what's coming up with the NBA drafts, and you just hear the reporter going, "Did you poop?" And Josh Giddey looks at him like, "What the?" Anyway, give it a watch.
I'll give it a watch. Here we go. Baseline hoops.
But it's like semi-bossing Josh Giddey as well, the way he carries on. Because he just pushed through it.
And the guy, like, the tweet after is just like, "Oh, fuck." You heard me say that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's my egg of the week.
Well done. My egg of the week, it is Olympic related. It's a little bit more serious than the
serious egg.
A bit more serious. The Serbian volleyball team had a game against or maybe it wasn't the Olympics. But anyway, so it was a volleyball game between Serbia and Thailand.
Yeah.
Right? And basically one of the Serbian players, you know, that the horrible thing that people do, I don't even know how to describe this without giving it air, but like with their eyes when they're referencing Asian people, basically pulling their eyes to make them look thinner. She did that and got caught on camera doing it while a player.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she did that as like a gesture.
So they're in the middle of a volleyball match and you do that to your opponent.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So it was just like, I just think that's a big egg.
Big egg.
Like,
what was the reaction? The reaction, sorry, not your reaction.
Well, she had to like apologize, but here's the statement. Or here's part of the statement. "We apologise sincerely to the Thailand team, people of Thailand, and to all of you affected by this. But please, don't blow this out of proportion. Sanya is aware of her mistake and she immediately apologised to the whole Thailand team. She only wanted to show her teammates, let's start playing defence like them now. She didn't mean any disrespect. Of course, it was unfortunate. It's all ended up as a simple misunderstanding." I don't know if that's it.
It's not. No, it's not even an apology, really, is it?
Nah.
Like, either apologize and own it, or just don't tell them what they think.
Yeah, exactly. Eggs.
That's fair. Two very different eggs, but two worthwhile eggs.
Yeah.
If you could say that.
But now the fun side of this.
Boss of the week.
Boss of the week.
I've got a few, actually. No, sorry, just two. I lied. One from Olympics, one from NBA. Themed.
You go.
You want me to go both?
I want you to start. I want you to do... Actually, do... Yeah, go both. Go, fuck it. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Well, the first one, pretty obvious. If you're in Australia... Or around the world, you probably saw... Is it Ariane? Ariane Titmus coach.
Titmus?
Dean Boxall, or whatever you say.
Oh, this guy.
His celebration, we've probably all seen it, but let's just watch it again. He goes absolutely ballistic after the win, and I couldn't help but to boss it.
I
think he
love
actually-
the like Japanese attendant behind it, just like
Yeah.
trying to calm him
Scared.
down, and then like realizing,
awkward
oh
clap.
fuck, I can't do anything. I get back.
That's true. He actually, in the interview, I think I got this right. How he referenced did he do that thing on the pole because he's a wrestler he grew up watching? I'm pretty sure
I
he
don't
said
know.
something
I didn't
like that.
see that.
Pretty sure he got asked. Anyway, Dean, you're a boss. Well done.
That was really good.
Second one's a serious one, but I don't know if you saw. Did you see any
Yes.
of the draft? Yeah.
I saw this. If this is the Terrence Clark stuff. Yeah, this was great.
So this is probably, I'm gonna say, my favorite boss of the year by far. I mean, we've had a lot, but I got shivers watching this. If you didn't watch it, basically Terrence Clark was. I'm not really in the college scene, but he unfortunately lost his life in a car accident during the year. But he was talented basketball and was meant to go in this year's 2021 NBA draft. So what the NBA did, and I encourage you to watch this. We'll put this in our links if you haven't seen it. But what they did, basically they acknowledged him probably halfway through the draft. Adam Silver, what is Adam Silver anyway? Boss
CEO, chairman. Yeah.
Whatever. The guy that sort of announces all the picks. They basically selected Terrence Clark. So the NBA selects Terrence Clark and got his family up on the stage, which I don't know. Like when you watch things like that, I've never like cried or whatever during a sport moment like this, but like you get shivers and you're like, it's a bloody powerful thing to do. So I just wanted to boss the NBA for that.
Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Terrence Clark. Terrence was an All-American high school basketball star in the Boston area. He attended the University of Kentucky, and following his freshman year, he declared for the draft to pursue his lifelong dream of playing in the NBA. Terrence was expected to be drafted tonight, but he tragically passed away in April following a car crash. He was 19. His extraordinary talent, commitment, and dedication to the game deserve to be recognized on this stage. With us this evening is Terrence's mom, Azmin, his brother Gavin, his sister Tatiana. To the three of you, and to all of those who knew and admired Terrence, please know that he will forever be part of the NBA family. It is my honor to now announce that with the next pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, the NBA selects Terrence Clark from the University of Kentucky.
It seems like such a really it doesn't seem like it's a really hard thing to do for anyone either. Like,
No.
not to say it doesn't. It's not like it means anything. It's just like a very nice gesture that, acknowledges that this person would have been a part of the league, in some shape or form. So it's very good, and it's also very good that I saw a few of the teams got around it as well. Like I noticed, the Celtics posted a graphic around it too. So it's one of those nice moments in sport, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's bigger than sport moment, but at least they got sort of like the family got the moment. The kid wearing the hat as well was cute.
Yeah, like his little brother or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he was, but pretty cool moment. So well done.
That is a good boss.
Thanks.
That's a nice way to finish.
You don't have one?
I've got a quick one.
Okay.
Quick one from the Olympics.
Yes.
So Rowan Browning, I think his name is, or how to say his name. So he's a sprinter for the Australian Olympic team.
Did he win earlier today?
He qualified for some sort of Yeah, he ran one of the fastest times that Australians ever run or something like that. I've got to say, like, running is probably my least favourite part of the Olympics, but, you know, each to their own. And the guys are an absolute unit, like, he's huge. But he tweeted this, and I just thought it was hilarious. So the tweet is, for anyone who's not watching this on YouTube, it's a screenshot of Rowan's, like, profile on worldathletics.org. And there's some unfortunate cropping from, like, his header image behind his profile. Basically, it's just a close up of his dick.
His headshot over it.
His headshot over it. So he's tweeted, "Can someone from World Athletics update my profile cover shot, please? Don't want to draw Shervo comparisons." Now, the other great part about this is, and Bucks, you probably won't like this because it's a dick humour, but there's all these posts floating around about Matt Shervington, a former Australian sprinter, and he's, how do I say this without being crass, but he's
I just googled it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that. I didn't know what he was referring to. Yeah, right.
So Rowan's just gone out and been like, "Yeah, fuck it, embrace it. I'm going to call this out." I just thought it was quite funny, and World Athletics eventually did reply, and they've fixed it. So
Nice.
A nice little moment there. I think that's it. The other one I had was Footy on 9. This is a small boss. For anyone in the football world, Alistair Clarkson left Hawthorn basically after they had said that categorically that he wasn't leaving, he wasn't planning on leaving, this, that, whatever. And then he left, and
she was right.
The tweet on from Footy on 9 was that we reckon a few people owe Caroline Wilson an apology, and just a video of her calling it out and being denied. And I think Jeff Kennett actually directly, like, called Caro out and said, "No, this isn't true. She's always lying." So just a nice little bit of support there from Footy on 9. Like, not a complex tweet, just a quick shout
why
out.
not? Get something right.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Exactly. That's it. That's all I got.
Great boss. Great episode. We talked about we'll probably cap season 2 off, listeners, with episode 30. So 5 more eps. We're going to try to get a couple more guests in the works.
In the works. Get into the guest spot.
Yeah, and then season 3, almost summer edition. Not that we'll take that long off, but
where we'll be back.
Update.
Oh, who knows? We'll work that out, but we don't need to plan that out. How about, Bucks, I want to put this to you live on air. We do a live show for our last one.
I'm speechless.
A live stream.
I'll look if you think you can get it to work, I'm all up for it.
Would you be keen? We'll stream it on YouTube, I reckon, and Insta, maybe.
How long can you stream it on Instagram?
I don't know. We'll work it out. Anyway.
Let's do it. Why not? Let's jump in.
Yeah. If you want to see that, let us know. If you've got this far into the show and you want to see us do a live stream, hit us up. Also, potentially some merchandise, Bucks. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, I think we should do it. Let's jump in live episode and merch. Why not?
Merch. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. As always, Barks, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I think I'm glad that you handled the NBA draft, because I did one draft this week and that was enough. And I don't want to do it again.
Shouts AFLW draft.
Shouts AFLW. Also, shouts Riley Beveridge for an incredible written piece on Carlton's AFLW thing. I don't know if that's too self-fulfilling, but
we do that a bit here, don't we?
Yeah. Anyway, it's been fun. As always, listeners, it's always great having you along for the journey. Follow us, subscribe, watch it live on YouTube. Not watch it live, watch it on YouTube. Check out the link in our bio for all the links to the content that we're talking about in this episode. And tell your mums about us.
Sure, why not? Tell everyone, because we probably should get more than my family listening, I reckon. Yeah. Just quietly, but well said. Can't wait. Next week, let's do it.
Can I ask quickly, just before we go, was there ever a chance you're going to egg Darren this week for locking his keys in his garage?
Well, it wasn't technically that. A slight egg had Becky planned with the fam this morning, and Darren got locked in his garage, so couldn't come, so we had to cancel it. But I think it was actually more
Has
on
anyone checked on him? Is he
he's not like stuck in the garage. We've actually made contact, had a bit of chatted to him, but I think it's a garage door malfunction. So I don't know if we can eat Darren for that.
We could try. Anyway, everyone, thanks. See ya.
And I hope you got reception in the garage. See ya.
Bye.